Happy Halloween, and welcome to episode 1 of Night TV. My name is Abby Damasky.
And my name is Sienna Demonte.
Today's episode, we are going to start off with our sports.
Night TV's news feature director, Konstanty Romanowski, asks a simple question. Is swim and dive really one cohesive team?
He takes a look at how the team tries to break through the barrier.
Most team sports are often known for their strong bond, but most sports also train together. Swim and dive is often thought of as one sport, but there's a lot more separation than one would think.
Swimming and diving is kind of like track and field, two separate sports that kind of share one medium, which is like the pool.
With sports so different from each other, are the players able to reach over the barrier and become friends?
I feel like we have a good relationship. We only have like 4 divers, so it's hard to be friends during swim practice because we practice on different areas of the pool.
We do try to include everybody, not just the swim team. Sometimes we are not always together, but I think we try our best to keep everybody included.
Legowski felt very honored to be chosen as a captain for the swim team.
I feel really honored, and I feel like just being captain, I feel like my connection with the team can be stronger just because they think of me as a good role model and a good person overall. So that kind of just makes me happy. I don't know.
I'd say it's changed. Maybe just each year the seniors want to bring in something new. We all really like having a close-knit team bond. So each year the senior group always tries to include pickleball, team bonding with the team, or breakfast with the team. So yeah.
The relationship between the two teams seems strong, but there are more than a couple bumps in the road.
I wish we were more together, but I feel like it's more separate just because, again, divers are swimming on the end of the pool and we're on the other end. So we never really get to see each other or talk to each other during practice.
I do think we sometimes talk to them, but not a lot because we do practice in separate areas of the pool, and at some meets we don't compete at the same time. But when we do compete at the same time at meets, I think that we do a great job of supporting each other.
Per Lopez, the team makes many efforts to build a lasting bond in practice, but also outside of the pool.
It's hard because swimmers are, once we get going and it's a 2-hour practice, it's your head's kind of down and in the water. And even within the swim team, it's hard to make connections or have that moment. So a lot of what happens between the diving team and the swim team happens outside of these doors. The girls are really good about pulling people in and team activities that they have scheduled on the weekends and pasta parties that they get everybody back together with. And our divers do a good job too of kind of being engaged. During a meet, it's swimmers and divers cheering for each other, so we make sure that each one is kind of supporting the other.
It's separate during practice, but we all kind of have a bond because we spend time with each other outside of practice, during pasta parties and stuff like that. I'm actually really close with a diver. Her name's Liana.
The team's bonding activities pay off during competitions when they can be seen cheering the others on.
It really falls upon the team to make sure that they keep them nice and close. Otherwise, it kind of becomes like a pocket small team from the big team.
This is Konstanty Romanowski reporting for Night TV, signing off.
Sticking to sports, girls cross country is looking to continue their successes this year.
That won't be without some challenges, as the team has faced some injuries.
Executive sports editor Matthew Pulver gives us a look on how the team prevents and mitigates their injuries.
The Prospect girls cross-country team is constantly running and training to try to have success at sectionals and state. Unfortunately, with constant running, players often get injured, stopping them from running and leaving a mental toll on them. Senior Sophie Franson experienced this firsthand as she was out for 4 weeks with a stress reaction in her shin. Despite this, she kept a positive mindset.
It definitely sucks. It's very frustrating, but I try to come back from it quickly and not get too negative about it so that, it doesn't affect my running when I get back.
Even though injuries can affect athletes, head girls cross-country coach Pete Wintermute and athletic trainer Shannon Malahy help their athletes out a lot.
Most of the time we're working on strength, preventative stuff. At the beginning of the season or over the summer when we're starting, it's a lot of preventative. So we work on rolling out, stretching, those kinds of things.
With this help, the runners are able to get back to being healthy. Franson appreciates the support and how it feels to come back.
It's really great. I feel like the team handles injuries really well, and just like there's a lot, my teammates, my coach, like everybody's really supportive and like always seems like they want me to get back as soon as possible.
While Franson isn't 100% healthy, she is back to light running. Her return made all of her hard work pay off.
It was really great. I just missed it so much and running with my teammates. So it's honestly just the best feeling to get to run again after a while.
Even with injuries, Wintermute appreciates the perseverance his players show.
When an athlete comes back from a disappointing race or comes back from injury, I think it speaks to who they are, right? We as teachers, as coaches, we try to model what perseverance is, and we talk about it, and you find those kids that have grit and they're able to manage the good times, but also manage the bad times. I think is ultimately unbelievable.
This is Matthew Pulver reporting for Night TV.
Taking a turn from sports, Prospect Blue Leaders are recognized as true role models for the class and are a textbook example of student independence.
Executive producer of Night Voices, Amelia Maslowski, and reporter Molly Munt show us the impact of having student leaders like this in the Prospect community.
Home of the Knights, Prospect High School's student section is known as the Underground and initially started for basketball events in 2014 and is now supporting every sporting club. These events are all directed by the Underground Leaders, also known as the Blue Leaders. This is where student independence thrives. Senior Bianca Walker was one of the lucky seniors to be picked for Blue Leader.
Being able to represent my school in a unique way that not many people can do, only a certain amount, and being able to have the whole underground join.
Every year, 15 to 18 seniors get chosen to be Blue Leaders. They are chosen through participation in events, creativity, and ultimately selected through the help of teacher recommendations. Advisors Timothy Franklin and Cambria Myers chose 17 leaders this school year. Another one of those leaders being Owen Smorcheski, who reminisces on when he got picked as Blue Leader.
It was a great feeling when I opened the little piece of paper that they gave me and Sir Kensington came in our room. It was pretty cool.
Weekly meetings are held with the advisors. During meetings, they come up with all the themes for sporting games and design merch for the school. They lead the cheers during games and ultimately have a dance party. Advertisements that are played on the announcements all throughout the week are also made by the leaders. Alongside the advertisements, they create all the posters that are displayed at the games. This is a way for students to express their creativity through making designs of their own. Posters consist of the players' names with funny puns and a crash banner that's displayed all around the school. Franklin is a new advisor for the Blue Leaders this year. He believes that the Blue Leaders set up the environment for the whole community.
Really up to them to really engage and create an exciting atmosphere for all of our students, and they come up with this stuff. They are the ones who are creating and designing and creating that energy that our students experience at our games.
An important part of Prospect's culture is Sir Kensington, Prospect school mascot, worn by Blue Leader Viola Piento.
I don't feel like I'm myself when I'm in this mascot. It's almost like an alter ego. Nobody knows it's you. So you can technically just walk around and do your thing. And it's really funny because everybody's just having a good time and nobody knows that it's you.
Doing this connects her to her community and helps her boost her mood on bad days.
You make so many people's days. There are children that just leave after taking a photo with you smiling, and it makes your whole entire night.
Through all this time spent together making the Underground the place to be, the U Leaders have experienced something worth millions.
All the guys, we have a really good bond, and then the girls have a good bond, but when we all come together, the bond is immeasurable.
The Blue Leaders have experienced many memorable moments together, but one that stands out to Walker was when Prospect played their rival school, John Hersey High School, and beat them for the first time in 3 whole
Everyone
years.
was just so loud. Everyone was just so hyped up. The school spirit was insane. It was just such a memorable moment because everyone came down and it was just like a huge crowd of just like everything that you could imagine, just just school spirit all around.
Prospect U leaders decide how to make the underground a fun and safe environment with total creative freedom. Through all of this, they leave a special mark on the school, different from all the rest. This is Molly Munt and Amelia Maslowski signing off for Night Media.
Back to sports. Reporter Johnny Klassen highlights a true talent on the girls' volleyball team.
Freshman Anna Range made quite an impact on the varsity team all year long.
Freshman Anna Range spiked her way through summer volleyball camp. All this hard work in the off-season really paid off for Range as she made her way onto varsity as a freshman. Range stated how if it was not for COVID and her mom giving her the volleyball for her birthday, she would have danced and not pursue this as her main sport.
It's so fun. I always think about oh my gosh, what if COVID didn't happen? I wouldn't have played volleyball. I literally would have been dancing instead of playing volleyball. But just hard work is the thing that got me to play for varsity.
Head girls varsity volleyball coach Catherine Miles enjoys how Range is always willing to listen and that she will do anything to get better.
Yeah, I think just since the beginning of the year, she is such a coachable kid. She listens to the things that her teammates or other coaches are trying to tell her, and that's really big because in a game situation, if you tell somebody hey, I need you to do this, and she does it right away, and then she scores, or if she doesn't score, she sees results. That's really huge. So that's one of the biggest things that I've seen from her, that you can't coach somebody to be coachable. So that's just really awesome that she has that.
Friendships she has made, and with how welcoming upperclassmen were. They treat her like a friend, not like a freshman. Range talks about that support of her teammates, giving her a big boost on the court and not to worry about making mistakes.
It just relieves so much stress. If I make a mistake, they're so what, who cares? Everyone makes mistakes, we're all human. Even though I'm younger, I do make more mistakes, and this is just such a great experience to have, so that next year and the years after, I also I know what to expect.
This is Johnny Klassen reporting for Night TV.
To end off the episode, we take a little preview of the upcoming basketball season.
Last year, Ben Schneider tore his MCL in just the second game of the season.
Executive producer of Night TV, Kenny Mineo, shows us his road back to the court and his impact he will have of the senior season.
Almost 2 years ago, now senior Ben Schneider had a moment most basketball players can only dream of.
And it will fall for Solmius the Knights with 7 seconds left. 1 point deficit. Ben Schneider bringing it up. Ben Schneider shakes it. The Knights win. The Knights win 44-46. The Knights.
Coming off of a phenomenal sophomore season, the Stars were aligning for Schneider to have a massive breakout junior year, according to assistant coach John Camardella. Things didn't pan out for Schneider in his second year starting on varsity, though. In just the second game of the season against St. Viator, Schneider suffered a bucket tear of his MCL, effectively flipping the joint over itself. Schneider's initial thoughts were what you would expect of a captain.
Right when I got injured, I was just thinking, how quick will I be able to come back? I was my mind was racing.
This injury and the surgery following it would knock him out for the rest of the season, but according to Camardella, an injury like this may give him a tool to use in his senior season, which begins on November 25th against the Libertyville Wildcats.
So it's just a matter of helping him see how watching film, understanding the scout, understanding matchups.
Schneider has gained a whole new outlook on the sport of basketball, per Camardella, that will only aid his already high level of play. While there were some underlying benefits of sitting out, it was hard on Schneider.
I didn't realize how tough it was going to be. Originally, I was I love watching basketball anyway, so it'll be fine, but not being able to help my teammates out there was definitely a struggle.
Camardella saw the effects of the injury on Schneider as well and acknowledged the challenge.
Occasionally I'll be like, hey, I can't promise you this is going to get better, but I can promise you I'm here.
With this injury behind him, Schneider has high hopes for his senior season and is ready for what lies ahead of him.
I think I'm going to be pretty excited, but obviously since I already had an AAU season, physically and mentally, I feel like I'm fully ready to play.
This is Kenny Mineo reporting for Night TV.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 1 of Night TV.
Make sure to tune in to the broadcast of the Prospect vs. Hersey game on Friday for week 1 of the 7A IHSA playoffs.
You can find the link on Twitter @_nightmedia.
See you next episode.